Good evening, everyone. Tonight I will be building a seaside cottage in the neighborhood of Brindleton Bay in The Sims 4. Before we begin, I want you to follow along as we completely relax our entire bodies, starting with your feet. I want you to completely relax all of the muscles in your feet and in your ankles and let all the tension melt away. Moving up to your calves and your knees. Fully relax all the muscles and let all the tension relax and melt away. Moving to your upper legs and your hips. Relaxing completely and letting go of all of the tension of your day. Moving to your torso and your lower back. And your shoulders. Let all of the tension in your muscles, in your shoulders and in your neck completely melt away. Now turn your attention to your arms and your hands. And let all of the tension relax. And finally, relax the muscles of your jaw. Relax the muscles around your eyes and your forehead. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now that we are totally relaxed, let's talk a little bit about this little cottage that I'm building. This cottage was inspired by the Cape Cod architectural style. Cape Cods are often found in the northeastern part of the United States. They are simple and often very symmetrical in design. They often feature white trim, shutters on the windows, and most iconically, the shingle tiles on both the roof and the exterior walls. Here I have a portico framing the red front door, and I am accenting the white trim with a black roof tile and the gray shingles on the exterior. I love how that gray and black make the white trim really pop. It's very harmonious and simple but beautiful. I added a very large fireplace and chimney stack that we'll see later when we get to the interior. So now I'm working on the interior of the house, and as you can see, it is a very simple floor plan with a very small bedroom and a very small bathroom. The sim that lives in this house is a single young lady, and I thought it was okay for the starter home like this to have a very small space. It makes it both cozy and cute, I think. And here's that fireplace that I absolutely love. About to add some lights to see what we're working with. And that wall paneling is one of my favorite designs in The Sims 4. It has a beautiful driftwood, weathered feel to the wood paneling and a beautiful dusky, stormy blue on the top. Here I'm working on the kitchen, and I happened to find the perfect counter colors to add into this kitchen. This is quite a unique kitchen in that it also is the entryway to the other parts of the house. It was a unique challenge, and I like how it came out. So here I'm adding the essentials like the refrigerator and the stovetop and the sink, and adding a little bit of extra design with the cabinets above the fridge and the stove and the sink. I'm also adding a vent hood above the stove, and I end up deciding to go with a copper vent hood, which is one of my favorites in The Sims 4. And I found these beautiful nautical style hanging lamps in various levels of patina. I sized them in different ways just for a nice visual appeal. And here I'm moving on to a little bit of decoration and everyday life clutter. I personally really enjoy cooking, so I like to make the kitchens look like they are used every day and they have useful objects and decor throughout the space. I am incorporating some design elements that are quite high up I think this is a common practice in very small spaces where we must utilize our vertical space rather than floor space. I think it makes things look creative and cozy and quite modern. And here I am looking around for more designs and decor, specifically searching for nautical themed elements. But I'm also looking at textures and colors to make sure everything harmonizes in the space. Just like with functional elements, when the space is small, we must utilize our vertical space. So rather than adding decor pieces that take up floor space, I concentrate more on decor that can be added to the walls or the ceiling or tucked away in corners like around the sink. And here I'm adding a little bit of counter clutter on the main kitchen counter space. You will notice that throughout the house, I incorporate lots of books. I imagine this sim to really love reading, and she has a vast collection of books that are sort of spread around the whole house. So I added that open book on the counter. And here, again, I'm adding clutter to the mantelpiece, and more books, of course, because this is another opportunity to add decor where it doesn't take up floor space. I really love this little piggy figurine. I had a little bit of trouble placing it, but it looks really cute there, I think. And moving on to the couch. I found one. I believe that this is a fabricated couch from the eco lifestyle expansion. I chose it for the dusky blue color, as well as the slightly handmade and worn aspect of it. I feel like it harmonizes with the starter home seaside vibes in this house. And again, the rug is harmonizing with the dusky blue colors. And I absolutely love this steamer trunk coffee table. It makes me think of traveling long voyages on the sea. And here I'm creating a little desk corner for this sim to work at the computer and read. So I'm adding a little bit of book clutter and desk clutter. I imagine that this is a favorite spot of the sim. I wanted to make it look extra cozy and that it gets used a lot. And I'm adding more clutter to the bookshelf. And adding some bar stools to the counter. When I have a very small space in The Sims, I tend to use the bar counters as a dining area instead of having a separate dining table. I think that's a good way of saving space. Here I do allow myself a little bit of decorative clutter. I'm adding some potted plants around the fireplace and the desk area. I absolutely love potted plants, and I think they really just brighten the space and soften the space, and it makes the area feel more alive, and also they are good for the air quality in your home. So I can't resist adding some potted plants in The Sims. I personally really love the ocean and going to the seaside. I try to go at least once a year. I don't live near the ocean, so I try to go whenever I can for vacation. And the sea is just so calming to me and soothing and refreshing at the same time. When I was a little girl, my favorite thing was to wiggle my toes in the wet sand next to the surf as the little waves came in. And I just love the feeling of the cool sand on my skin on a hot day and the sound of the waves, and I would let the waves wash the sand off of me. Here I'm adding a little bit of entryway clutter, and again, more books, of course. The bathroom and the bedrooms are quite small, so I had to keep the design and the decor quite minimal. I'm just keeping it quite traditional with blue and white, and I decorate the space more vertically rather than taking up floor space. And adding a towel rack and a medicine cabinet. And just placing things around the bathroom, keeping it clean and simple, and sticking with the blue and white color schemes. I love that vanity with that mirror. I think it looks very classic and very beautiful. Sometimes I find objects when I'm working on a different part of the house that I think would look really good in another part of the house. So I quickly put it over there and then get back to the room that I'm working on. Here I'm adding some clutter in the bathroom, more plants, and a little rug. And that's very cozy and homey looking. And this bedroom has only room for a single bed. And I think it's quite common for older homes to have very small bedrooms. They often only had room for a single bed. And like I said before, this is a starter home, so it's okay, I think, that the bedroom is so small. And just keeping it kind of simple in my designs and cozy. I really love this collage here with the cross stitch work. It's so cute. And adding some bedside table clutter with an awesome hurricane lamp, and again more books, which really goes with the theme of an avid reader. Decorative clutter. I imagine this sim probably reads a lot in bed, so having books easy at hand is very convenient. And just wanting to fill in that empty wall with some nice art. And this wall collage, kind of a cluttered feel, but I like that for this bedroom, that it's well lived in and has a lot of personal touch to it. And here I'm adding some curtains to the windows, again in that beautiful dusky blue. And more rugs on the floor. I can't get enough of the rugs. And here we come to the garden decor. I kept this garden quite simple. I wanted the garden to be an extension of the cottage itself. So it was very rambling and wild, and I wanted the flowers and the bushes to kind of organically grow as they almost haphazardly. And nothing is symmetrical or evenly spaced. I just wanted it to be kind of natural looking and very much a part of the cottage itself and the nature around it. And I use a lot of hostas, which are those big bushy green plants that are very round and large, and hostas are really beautiful. Hostas can tolerate quite a bit of shade, and they come in really fantastic colors. different shades of green, and I've even seen some white ones. So they really brighten up a shady spot in the garden. I didn't go with a specific color theme. I often try to stick with a color theme when I'm building gardens in The Sims, but in this case I went as natural as possible, and I focused more on texture rather than color. I just wanted it to look a little overgrown and abundant and vibrant, and hopefully that gives the cottage a really beautiful appeal. And I edge everything in these little daisies. I think it sort of softens the footprint of the bushes and makes it seem like they are nestled into their spots. And makes it seem a little softer. I added a little bit of ivy as well in certain spots. The house is not very big, so there was not a lot of space or opportunity to add a lot of ivy, but I did put it where I could. And I just go around softening everything with greenery and a little bit of ivy. And I go work my way around the whole cottage with more ivy and more climbing flowers. And here I'm adding some hanging plants to the patio. And some ferns around the side. I'm also very fond of ferns. They are naturally abundant in forest areas, forest floors, so they can tolerate quite a bit of shade as well. But they have to stay damp in damp soil, and they can handle quite a bit of sunshine. I have a fern growing in my bathroom window, actually, and it's so happy there. It's really beautiful, big bushy fern. They're one of my favorites. And I'm adding more hostas and more bushes of many different textures and colors. And here I'm adding some bougainvillea. Bougainvilleas are really fantastic, and they almost seem more blossoms than leaves, which make them look so beautiful and abundant. And I'm just finishing up a little bit and softening the landscape with more of those daisies and more flowers and more bushes of various different sizes and colors, and I just love the way that looks so natural and a little wild, and they're really beautiful. And the irises and the hollyhocks. I have irises in my front yard. They're quite a beautiful flower as well. Although, if you ask me, all flowers are beautiful. And I'm adding some steps to the foundation and little back porch area. More stairs here. And I added some trees just around the lot to make the house feel a little bit more a part of the scenery. It's sort of a foresty, mountainy scene. And I think adding some trees sort of nestles into that scene really well. I like adding some flowers and grasses and bushes to the feet of the trees. I guess it's like my inner Bob Ross, putting in little friends for the trees and softening their surrounding areas with just more textures and colors and making them little happy trees. And the grasses really make it seem like a more wild scenery and more ferns. I just like that sort of established and rambling wild look. And I'm just taking another final look around the cottage. Continuing with more of the daisies. And I think that finishes up this build. I hope you enjoyed watching me build this little seaside cottage and listening to my commentary. And I hope by now you're feeling a little bit sleepy and relaxed and calm. And I hope you drift into a really good